Hi everyone, Jasper Basson here, founder of Dryk Holdings and the financial director of Lead Optimizers. I'm sitting here with my wife, Louise Basson. Hi Louise.
Hi.
She is the owner of various businesses, all in the pet industry. And I'm going to ask her to maybe elaborate on all the various businesses and what exactly she do.
Okay, hi. Well, in 2008, I started a business called Dog Care Center, and it's mainly a boarding facility for dogs, cats, and rabbits. And we also do training with dogs, all breeds. We specialize in reactive dog training as well as huskies. A lot of people don't know the breed very well and they struggle to train them. And then I also have a pet-friendly holiday accommodation in Sandpire, Manus called Barking Beach Cottage, which we opened in 2011. And about 3 years ago, I started a grooming business for dogs and rabbits. And we also stock some pet-related products that we import.
I think more specifically, where did you complete your courses and are they any of them internationally certified?
Yes, in 2008 I completed a course with the Ethology Academy in South Africa, and I did some practical work with Joel Painter in that year. And then about 2011 I did another course, an international course from a company in Texas that I also completed. It's based on learning theory, science-based learning theory, behavior and training. So it's set into 3 categories. So it's not just teaching a dog training, but actually understanding the theory behind how they learn.
There's something that your boarding facility actually do something totally different from any other boarding facilities, and that's the board and train. Do you want to maybe tell us more about that?
Yeah, a couple of years ago I started introducing the boarding trains actually when we visited some friends in Texas. I saw that they actually do very well with the board and train program, where you actually leave your dogs for 2 or 3 weeks and you do some training with them during that time, especially for dogs that are reactive on lead or reactive towards people or other dogs. It really works well. You are able to spend more time, quality time with the dog, and actually set a good foundation. And then it's a lot easier for the owner to just adapt to that training, and the dog's already got that foundation to work with.
Are there any specific bad habits that you in time took out of your business life that made your life better, more productive?
That's a very broad question. I think the one thing that I'm still working on, and I've started working on it ever since I actually had my own business. My first business was actually nothing to do with animals. It was a beauty therapy salon. And there I made quite a lot of mistakes, which I try to not repeat with my boarding kennels that I first started in 2008. And the one thing is change. A lot of people are scared of change, and I think you can't evolve, you can't mentally and spiritually mature and evolve if you don't allow change in your business and your personal life. And change is messy. There are times where it seems like it might the wheels are coming off, but it's actually part of the process of change. And with change, you can have growth in your business, and I think that is very, very crucial. And something that I have to remind myself of daily is to be open to change. So it's not something that I would say that I'm trying to avoid. It's something more that I'm trying to add to my business, but I do need to remind myself of that on a daily basis.
Something else I know about you, seeing you training in business for many years, is that you also don't really care about competition, and you've got a very good philosophy about competition in your specific industry. Please tell me more about that.
Well, I think it's important when you, I mean, within in any industry, there's always competition, and that's something that can inspire change as well, because you can focus on what you do, your product, your service, and yourself for that matter. And the more you develop yourself and your business, the less the competition actually matters. If you have to compare yourself the whole time to what other people are doing and try and put them down to make you feel better, then there's something wrong in your business or in your actually your own personal life as well. So if you can focus on what you do and how you can develop what you offer to clients, then there's no need to focus on what other people are actually doing.
That's very great advice. Do you have any morning rituals or evening rituals and daily habits?
I've got one bad habit, and that's you bringing my coffee every morning. Um, but it wakes me up. But I would like to replace it with tea. Coffee, I don't feel is that healthy, and it actually blocks your energy, if that makes sense. Yeah, so tea would be a better option, but I'm not there yet. Once I get up, actually before I get up, I like to listen to some music, and the music that I listen to is very different to the traditional music that we always listen to on radio. It's on a different hertz, I think is what you
Hertz,
call it.
that's right.
Yeah. Like 852 hertz, or the other good one is 525 hertz, and it's just the rhythm that they actually produce the music on is there to assist healing and just cleanse your overall mindset, and that is a good start for me for the day. There's actually some theory behind it that 432 hertz is what music was produced at before. In the time of Hitler, they actually changed the music. I'm not completely sure. Also to 444, something like that, 445 hertz. I'm not completely sure now. And that's actually to make people negative and quite depressed. And that's where music is at mostly today. So I tend to try and listen less to the typical music that we all actually do like. Because it does influence how you respond to your day and to your moods. It affects your moods as well. So yeah, that's one of the things I do. And then once I'm up and all dressed, I come and I feed my horses and the pigs and the chickens, and that's really something that just gives me a good start to the day. And then I also like to walk barefoot. It actually neutralizes. It's basically like you're all positive and the ground is negative, and that cancels each other out. That makes sense. So it's very good to just walk a little bit barefoot or touch a tree. I know it sounds weird. It's just a way to balance your body out, basically. You will actually feel it even if you don't really understand it. I'm struggling to explain it. But if you do walk barefoot, you will actually feel relaxation going through your body. So that I try to do every morning. It's quite cold now in winter, but I still do it. So yeah, that's how I start my morning before work.
I think the specific music you're talking about, the vibrations, I actually started doing some meditation in the morning, mixed with prayer, and I started listening to that specific hertz music to get the correct vibration within me, and I can actually give feedback on that and say it really works. So maybe you can just elaborate a bit on the vibrations if possible.
The thing with vibration is a lot of people think it sounds like you're busy with something underground. But it's not that. I also pray when I do listen to this music, and through God I believe that our subconscious mind is actually very powerful. in the way we think, and the way we think affects our daily life. So if I think about needing more money, or I never have enough money, or my back is sore constantly, then that is the neural pathways I'm creating. Where this music just helps you to cleanse your neural pathways basically. You do get different kinds, and it also helps to heal your DNA. So yeah, there's really some valid research behind it. You can just go on YouTube and you'll find quite a lot of videos on it. There's some scientific research on it, so it's not something that I just thumb-sucked. And the vibration, we all have it, animals have it as well. It's just the feeling basically that I give towards people and animals around me. Some have a good vibration and some don't really have a very good vibration. And you can evolve that and actually work on it, and that has an effect on everything you do. Yeah,
I
that
think
explains it.
I think just to add to that is I've recently read a book, Switching on Your Brain, by Dr. Leaf, and then which is great of the book is she connect Christian scriptures with the neuroscience. So to actually validate neuroscience towards Christianity. So it's not a foreign kind of object or foreign anything foreign. It's I mean there is a very close connection between neuroscience and the script.
Yeah, you don't, unfortunately or fortunately, you don't have to actually believe in God to
True.
do this kind of work on yourself, as long as you believe that that's the whole thing in your mind. It's what your mind believes. But there is a definite connection for me to God with my subconscious mind, which is what it's all about. And through God you can actually open up your way of thinking.
Connect maybe.
Yeah, and connect.
On that note of books, do you have any book? I know you've also read quite a few books recently. Any specific book that you can, maybe on this specific subject, that you can advise?
Yeah, there's quite a few, but there's one written, I think, in the 1950s or 60s by Joseph Murray, The Power of the Subconscious Mind. If you listen to it on Audible, it's like over 6 hours, but it's a very easy read, understandable book to actually understand the subconscious mind. And it also takes a lot of verses out of the Bible and connects that. And even though it's dated back about 40 years, it's very up to date, and it's very
Still relevant to today.
Still relevant to where we're at today. And I think a lot of people are really not aware of the power that we have within us.
Yes, for sure. So talking about you've been reading books and giving some advice on what to read. You're also author of currently of 2 books, and I know you're thinking of, or in process of writing your 3rd book. Maybe give us some idea of what the first 2 books is about, and then also maybe tell us, maybe give us a little hint of the potential subject and the potential information in the new book.
Okay. Well, my 3rd book that I'm working on is called Getting to the Heart of Training. I initially wanted to write a book on reactive dogs and how owners can handle having a reactive or fearful dog. And I actually wrote quite a few chapters, but as I started changing, my concept of my 3rd book changed. And so it's completely different. The first 2 books I wrote, Winter Dogs, Living with Huskies as Pet Dogs. It's a very easy read. It's just understanding the basics of Huskies, because they're a little bit different than most breeds like a Labrador or Golden Retriever. They're a little bit harder to handle, and more difficult to train. And I also, because we visited Alaska twice, I brought in a lot of that as well, how to do sledding or mushing with your husky, or any breed for that matter. But like I said, it's quite an easy read. You can read it within 2 or 3 hours. And then my second book is a little bit more in depth of behavior and training of any breed of dog. Yeah, so what I now realize is that the problem with that I find with training is that it seems very two-dimensional. It's very flat. Animals do have emotion. We all know that, some more than others. But training takes the emotion out of the animal. We don't train emotion. We train with behavior. So I see the dog digging a hole, and now I teach it not to dig the hole, but I ignore the reason why it's digging the hole, if that makes sense. So it's very two-dimensional, and even though it works, I feel there's more needed to have a well-balanced dog, or any animal, horse or cat. And for people as well, in our eyes, training gives you a perfect dog, but it's not a robot. It's still an animal with feelings, emotions, and its own behavior. Even though you try and keep the environment the same for the animal, there will still be changes in the reaction to its environment. Adding another dog, adding a baby, adding another horse, getting a divorce, moving house, whatever it may be, it actually affects your animal as well. So my third book is basically focusing on bringing training with emotion and that balance between the two. And I also recently started with self-selection in animals, which is basically working with them through plant materials and essential oils, and they self-select. So you offer certain oils or plant extracts, and they choose whatever they need, and it's for emotional balance or imbalances, and it's for any physical issues they might have, like stiffness or inflammation. And then as well, how they do it is they can either smell the product, or they can eat it, they can lick it, you can rub it on them, but they select obviously with smelling it, or actually licking or chewing it. And it has great benefits, and it actually heals them quite quickly. Just with one session you can see quite a big difference in the animal. It's very nice for rescue centers as well that we started working with.
And do you think that most of all those information will also be included in your third book?
Yes, definitely. It will be a part of it. There will be training in it, there will be some self-selection in it, and maybe buy the book when it's out, then I'll tell the rest.
The previous two books and potentially a new one, where do you think where is it available to buy?
The previous ones you can buy on Amazon. Luet.
That Louise, yeah, that's right.
They also have it. Kalahari, I know, stocks it. So most online shops you can buy it from. You can buy it through our website as well.
I think you can even order it through Exclusive Books.
Yes, that's true. They do have to order it though, but you can get it from them. But I think actually Amazon is the cheapest.
I wanted to ask you about specific apps on your smartphone, and I know you like your smartphone, but you don't really like the apps. Maybe Audible is one of them that you can.
Yeah,
most people do
Audible
actually use Audible.
is on my phone, and I unfortunately do have Facebook on my phone, but that's mostly for my business. We put a lot of videos and photos on of the dogs that we train and work with for our clients, so that's basically the only reason why I use it. But I do believe not going into Facebook every 10 or 30 minutes, and actually just once or twice a day to update our Facebook page. Other than that, they say there's a saying that says work smarter, not harder, or something like that. And a lot of people think that working smarter is you actually do less, and making use of a lot of apps, I think, to make your work easier. But I believe that working smarter is a lot less about technology and actually what we just spoke about, in how you empower yourself with your mind and apply that to your work. And that's my way of working smarter,
Yeah,
not
no,
really apps.
I agree with you. I think we can't be creative, and that is in all senses, but creative in your work if you constantly on a smartphone and mixed with technology. Again, it comes back to the neuroscience as well. But as we slow down our brain, prefrontal cortex, we can actually start getting much more creative, and it won't be found on a smartphone.
No, for sure.
Thank you very much for your time, and I'll make sure I don't make you coffee anymore, but I'll make you tea in the morning.
Right, thank you.